Hello and welcome back. This is Insti and I'm playing Sherlock Holmes and Nemesis or versus Arsene Lupin, depending where you are. I think it was released as a Nemesis in UK, US area. I don't know why there's actually two names, Nemesis and Arsene Lupin. I think in Steam it's Nemesis, but as you can see, it's Arsene Lupin in here. And either game, it's the same thing. 2007 was the year this was released. Around, I think it's the same year as the Awakened. And there's also a remaster version. I think it was 2010. I checked it, but I didn't make a note of it. I think it's 2010. And I'm fairly certain that the remastered version is what you have from Steam or GOG. So there's that. Yeah, I have finished Sherlock Holmes The Awakened remaster version, and now I'm continuing to Arsène Lupin because this is the in timeline, this is the next one, and hopefully this works. After this, I'll go to the Jack the Ripper. But yeah, I had stuttering problems, not in game, but in recordings of the game in Awakened version. And as this and Jack the Ripper pretty much uses the same engine, I think, I'm a little worried that we have those same issues with these games. Hopefully they are not that bad, but anything I did, I tried to different renders, graphic settings, nothing really helped. There's always were that little stutter in the recording, so I have no idea. But anyways, let's hope it's not too bad, and let's jump in. Actually, if you haven't watched The Awakened, there's interesting thing you can notice. There are a few newspaper notes about AL, again, Arsène Lupin, and so yeah, there's a definitely premonition of this game. So, anyways, let's jump in. Okay, you are undertaking to portray Sherlock Holmes, the famous consulting detective of 221 B Baker Street, London. During this case, you must demonstrate both sagacity, whatever, and calm. Observe well the items around you and don't hesitate to click on them once you have the required information. You will obtain comments that will help in your hunt. Do not forget to interrogate anybody who may be able to inform you. Choose the right questions and pay heed to their answers. Assure yourself that you aren't caught short by your adversary. Arsène Lupin will throw a number of challenges at you, which will demand you are subtle and methodical. Thus, in the course of your investigation, you will have need of pencil and paper. Certain riddles will require reflection worthy of your hero. It will be challenging. At certain moments, you will need to type a keyword in response to a question in order to continue the adventure. You are at liberty to consult your notes in order to help yourself. Do not forget to read the documents that you will have gathered and glance through Sherlock's notes. They are all important. In order to advance in your inquest, you will have at your disposition plans and maps which will permit you to teleport by clicking on given points. You may equally make your character run by double-clicking with the left mouse button. England's honor is at stake. Do not disappoint your adversary. Well, so far it doesn't seem that bad, at least the stuttering. Hopefully it will not get any worse. I had a little problem to get my graphic settings stuck because every time I changed them, they still kept reverting back to original. Some of them stayed, but others didn't. So I had to... Oh, our little rascal. Yeah, some of them stayed, but I had found a fix for that. At least it worked for me. Okay.
It looks to be the beginning of a lovely day, Holmes. There's nothing like beginning the week with a sunny Monday, with nothing more pressing to do than to see what came in the post. Would you care to take a ride up the Thames today?
I think not, Watson.
Listen, Holmes, your mood has been getting progressively worse for the past 2 weeks. I know you, and I am certain that something is bothering you. It wouldn't be bad news from Switzerland, would it?
We would already be on a boat heading towards the continent, were that the case, my dear Watson.
Very well, then, what is it? Let me guess. For the past 2 weeks, the papers have talked of nothing other than this French thief, Arséne Loupin. He's been making all of the police officers on the continent look like complete idiots. You're taking an obvious pleasure out of reading these articles.
My dear Watson.
I've put my finger on it, haven't I? I know you well. Something tells me that you will not entertain talk of this Lupin for some time. Do you recall his latest feat? Using an alias, he seduced a young Italian princess in order to rob her of a priceless set of diamond jewellery that once belonged to the Medici. These jewels were to be part of the lady's dowry on the occasion of her marriage to the son of a wealthy, influential Sicilian. Finally, our friend, having committed his crime, left word for the local press explaining that there was no other way for the charming lass to escape a marriage of convenience with, I quote, an uncultivated and uncouth boor without the least refinement. Since then, the lady has been confined to a convent, and rumour has it that the two outraged fathers have jointly offered a sum of countless millions of liras for the head, the rest of the body being optional, of the man who is responsible for their dishonour. Are you acquainted with the reputation of the Italian criminal milieu? Why, another letter from the zoo about those missing birds, as if we were going to be running around the whole of London chasing chickens. As I was saying, are you acquainted with the reputation of the Italian criminal milieu? This Arséne Loupin must be in hiding somewhere, surrounded by bottles of champagne and stolen treasures. How foolhardy and arrogant. Oh, these French. However, he didn't pursue this foolishness to the point of risking stepping onto British soil.
Has the cat got your tongue, Watson? What? Whatever is the matter with you, Watson? Pray tell.
This letter on the table. Holmes, read it.
Okay, that's a little longer talking part than I anticipated. You control Sherlock Holmes. To move in the game, just left click on the destination you want to reach. Double click will make him run. Yes, but now we see, yes, there's the camera first person perspective. That's what I want to use as I will continue playing. So inventory pretty much similar towards the like in the Awakened. Little changes on the UI, and there's the hints. You control Sherlock Holmes. Yes, I do control. Actually, it seems okay for now. Interesting. Yeah, I had to use... oh, that's definitely one of the Sherlock Holmes stories. I do remember the drawings, but I can't remember the story. It's been a while. You mentioned this in Awakened, that I do have the. I think it contains all of the Sherlock Holmes stories, but it's been quite a lot of time since I last read them. But I was saying, and there's the Cthulhu. This is more grounded story than the Cthulhu one. And that's London. Yeah, I was saying I had to...
I must know why Watson is in such a state.
Okay. Yeah, I was saying I couldn't keep... The settings didn't stay as I put them. A few of them. Apparently it's a problem people do have. And yeah, I had to download... I think it was Fallout New Vegas DirectX 9 DLL and just put it straight into the root of the game. And after that it kept the settings, and it almost seems like that it might have removed the stuttering also. And it's a fix that will work with Awakened, Nemesis, and Jack the Ripper if you can't keep the settings. So I have to remember that it might have removed the stuttering altogether, which would be nice. Anyways, I'll digress.
This letter, here, on the table, Holmes. It's incredible. Read it.
Okay. I'm sorry I'm taking too long to explain everything. Dear Mr. Holmes, before I begin, please excuse my grammatical or spelling errors that you might notice. Your language isn't my native tongue, as I come from the continent, France, to be exact. Okay. In addition, my singular subjects of conversation, whether they be oral or written, are the most exquisite food and wine, the noblest arts, and the sublimest women. The whole world knows that you, people of Her Most Gracious Majesty, do not produce or even discern any manifestation of aesthetics, intelligence, and civilization that sets men apart from beasts. Thus, the opportunities to practice your language are sporadic and brief. What use is there to linger with a lackey or maid? But look, I see I have made a mistake, or rather an execrable mistranslation. I said, you people of Her Most Gracious blah 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 blah. I should have said, the people of blah 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 other than you. How can I include you in this half-ruddy-faced, half-pallid crowd reeking of brine and cheap beer? You stand apart as an icon, having followed your exploits for some time and being interested in your unusual personality. I started to see in you a man of intelligence, ingenuity, and singular refinement. The incredible results in your activities and the manner in which you achieve them are marked with the seal of genius. Believe me, despite the lamentable opinion that I hold for the inhabitants of your island, I have for you an admiration without limit, which reached its apogee recently when I discovered you have a French ancestor. What unlucky stars brought you to the world elsewhere than in the motherland I call my own? That should have been your own. Perhaps the gods desired that your presence on this island bring up the intellectual average that was so low it bordered on the absurd. The business that brings me to write this letter may bring an answer to this question. You see, events without an antecedent will occur in London in the week to come, beginning on the very night of the day in which you read this letter. The purpose of these events is to bring the light abroad, the arrogance and vanity of the English. Enough of the haughty, boring composure that the English present us when passion should be freely expressed. Enough of the derisive confidence in England's impregnability, which is displayed by all of your politicians and soldiers. The English fortress is being protected by seas serving as moats. Enough of your supposed symbols of majesty and grandeur of spirit, which are, in fact, merely fruits of looting and plundering. England has measured the world by its stingy, superior smile for far too long. Thus, I, Arsene Lupin, have pledged to get rid of this smile, To that end, in the week to come, I pledge to steal 5 of the most representational symbols of the alleged English grandeur here in London. Once these auspicious achievements have been accomplished, I will exhibit the trophies for the world to see, and will reveal the smallness of nation incapable of preserving its pride. England will become a laughingstock of all nations, from the largest to the smallest, and will have to swallow its pride and lower its head for millennia to come. Imagine these self-righteous and perfidious faces who ordinarily bury the fact that they are one of Her Majesty's people will henceforward hide their origins. Being English will no longer be grounds of pride, but rather shame. In brief, the debts will be paid. You are perhaps asking yourself why I have chosen to share with you my vision, which many who don't know me would consider mad. After all, if my former praises are well founded, you are certainly the only person in England capable of stopping my plan. Like myself, you are fully aware of the inefficiency and the flagrant lack of imagination that plagues your police service. The reason for this letter is eminently narcissistic. No exceptional artist desires to produce their work for an uncultured public incapable of appreciating the true value of his prowess and talent. In you, I have found the ideal spectator, and I wish for you to follow the stages of my consecration step by step. In fact, I would almost wish you to put yourself in my path, and in vain to stop me from committing these thefts, but you are a busy man who doesn't like defeat. What a shame. If, despite everything the adventure tempts you anyway, I shall leave you a few verses that deal with the tonight targets. All across France, everyone knows. In the blind's kingdom, you only need one eye for the crown. You treat us like blind men, it shows. 'Twas one-eyed, one-armed man who brought us down. It is true that we failed, though we tried again. Our fate was nailed, his immortality our pain. One of the Spanish capes, the detestable pride that hangs around you like grapes, our suffering makes you snide. An adversary came along in order to protect victory. We were put in the wrong, and the day made history. Save the pain and defeat, the worst in this game is that the hero we did meet carries a French name. Clearly did vengeance sound what I have in mind for this traitor, sitting at his master's feet like a hound, is to be run aground. On my honor tonight to hand, I will break free the binding, so that all may understand our victory will be take wing. Arseno Lotinho. Okay, yeah. Oh, that was so long text. But anyways, had I known, probably haven't read that. But anyways, so, and I hate poetry. I can't read it very well. Horatio Nelson. Maybe.
Holmes, this is truly unbelievable. Surely this cannot be taken seriously.
It's possible, Watson, that this letter is nothing but a prank. However, a small chance exists that both the challenge and the threat are real.
What will you do?
First, I'm going to enjoy the breakfast Mrs. Hudson has prepared. If you would be so good, Watson, as to clarify some of the riddles in the letter. Firstly, if Arséne Loupin is actually the author, as he states, why does he sign with another name? When it comes to the poem, even if an answer seems straightforward, we must be quite certain. What would the target of tonight's theft be if this letter turns out to be accurate? We have one day to find the solution and to take preventative measures. You could go see Barnes, the bookstore in Glentworth Street. Surely they'll have something that will be informative.
You control Dr. Watson. Well, okay. Yeah, I'll make a save just to be done with that. I think we need to go and see. I can open this. And I have to remember the spacebar because yet that is always helpful. As you can see.
My eccentric companion keeps his shag tobacco in the toe of this Persian slipper.
Okay.
This is how Holmes organises his correspondence that is awaiting responses. If only his clients saw that.
Oh, the horror.
It's a coal bucket in which Holmes stores his cigars. What a strange idea.
Oh, yes. A book?
Oh, what a mess. Treaty on Cornish, the Celtic language of the Cornish people. And here, medieval pottery. Holmes has an interesting taste in reading.
Yes.
It was in this statue that we found the famous black pearl of the Borgias.
Ooh. Probably an interesting story which I do not remember. Anything else we can check? Yes.
What? This accursed statue is still here? I've asked Mrs. Hudson to remove it for us.
But why? What else do we have here? Let's see the violin.
Holmes's violin.
And
Holmes's table for experiments. A motley collection. Ooh, the adventure of the dancing men. I recall.
Good for you. And scale. I don't think I can enter.
I am not ready yet, Watson.
Okay. So I think we have checked almost everything, so we might as well... Oh, quite dark actually. We might as well go to the... barns. This is exactly the same as in the Awakened. I'm just checking if the...
No, I have nothing to ask him.
Okay. I'll try to check if there's some stuttering. So far so good. And... oh, another dog. And the dog from Awakened has disappeared. And this is the Stenix apartment. Interesting to see if we actually can do something in here. Probably not. Golden Lion. So far it seems like there's at least not that much stutter as there were. Which would be nice, because it was a little annoying. No flower shop either. Oh, it's here.
Poor Barnes should hire a cleaning lady. Oh, what a mess.
Yes, what a mess. Where's Barnes? Can't really see. Oh.
Gunithruth, Kudwilm, Lizrit, Sublilha.
Oh, that's the dance the Sherlock made in the Awakened. Exactly the same. So, are you summoning demons here?
Good day, Barnes.
Hello, Dr. Watson. How are you? I didn't hear you enter.
Are you busy? Am I disturbing you?
Not at all. I was researching, but if you came to see me, it must be that you're looking for something specific. Perhaps I can help you?
Oh, I actually can ask questions.
A very strange affair, bewildering even, has brought me to see you. An affair involving a Spanish cape and a one-eyed, one-armed man.
Most certainly. You will find the works dealing with naval history on one of the shelves somewhere.
Okay.
Thank you. I'll go look.
I'm guessing it's there. The Great English Seaman Book. Okay. Yes, Horatio Nelson. Was his last words. Upon his return, he astounded many with his taste of raw meat and his sudden onslaught of salivation when I quote his housekeeper, local college students or uninformed conscripts passed in front of the window of the living room. He died 2 years later due to a fatal fall while attempting to battle the weathercock atop Edinburgh bell tower with sculpture that he had made out of clay and briar chips representing supposed offspring of the Duke of Kent and Hedgehog. Horatio Nelson, 1st Viscount of Nelson. Born in Burnham, Norfolk in 1758, we owe to Admiral Nelson some of the most beautiful pages of the Royal Navy's history. Charged with intercepting Bonaparte en route for Egypt, he conquered the French fleet in the Battle of the Nile in 1798. Not content to rest on his laurels, in 1799 he recaptured Naples from the revolutionaries and was made of Duke of Bronze in 1800. The death of this unrivaled seaman, who had already given his body in the service of his country, he had one arm amputated and lost the sight in one eye, was his crowning moment. He died triumphing over Admiral Villeneuve during the Battle of Trafalgar, despite being inferior in terms of numbers, but to the grace of courage and audacity without compare. A representative tale of Nelson occurred during a former battle when flag captain warned him that the commander was signaling retreat. Admiral Nelson, convinced they were to be victorious, held telescope to his blind eye and said, "I really do not see the signal." Thus continued the battle, coming out victorious. Luckily for him, his joke.
Here's my book, The Great English Sailors. As it happens, I found this book and...
Excuse me, my dear Dr. Watson, but I am in need of tranquility.
Well, farewell, Barnes.
Yeah, Barnes, you probably should be doing what you're doing. Hopefully you don't kill yourself. Okay, and I'm off. So far so good. Not much stuttering. Hopefully that stays. Yeah, because if the fix works, then I'll definitely hope it will help with the Sherlock Holmes, the Jack the Ripper case also. Why I don't run, I don't know. So, Holmes. There you are.
Now tell me, Watson, what progress have you made? Have you found the meaning of the mysterious signature?
Yes.
It's an anagram, Holmes. The letters in Arseno Lotinho can be used to spell out Horatio Nelson.
That's a welcome confirmation. No doubt the target for the theft is somehow connected with the Battle of Trafalgar, won by Admiral Lord Nelson at the expense of the French. Nelson, who lost an eye and an arm in battle, has a statue high atop a column in Trafalgar Square. It says that the object of the theft is sitting at his master's feet. There's nothing to steal on this column. We have a map of London here somewhere. Let's see if we can find a site of interest near Trafalgar Square.
Okay, I'll make a save, but I probably changed those sounds a little bit more voice, maybe a little bit ambient and less mute. Let's go with that. And so, what was I supposed to do? But there is nothing to steal on this column. We have a map of London here somewhere, and let's see if we can find a site near it. Okay, so map of London. Not this one. Do I need to... Oh, is it here?
Ha! I found it at last. The map of London.
So, according to you, what is there to steal in Trafalgar Square? Show me on the map, Watson.
Okay. Do I have a map? Map of London, okay, and west, south, center. Bank of England, the Tower of London, St. Paul, Justice Court, the British Museum, Oxford Circus, Burlington Arcade, Piccadilly Circus, and we are here. Buckingham Palace, New Scotland Yard, Clock Tower, Big Ben, and Westminster Abbey. Okay, but no. Do I have something? Let's see if we can find a site interesting at Trafalgar Square. Okay, so I guess we need to check the map then. Okay, so center, there's the Trafalgar.
The only location visible is the National Gallery of Painting, which faces the column.
Why not? Our man wants to steal a painting, but which one? Watson, shall we head out? Let's take a tour of the National Gallery. While you find us a hansom, I'll send a message to Lestrade to have him join us.
Oh, I thought we would have to actually do something more than just click the Trafalgar, but okay. Let's go and take the hansom then. Hopefully it's right over here. And there it is.
Ah, Lamb, good timing. Can you give myself and my friend Sherlock a lift?
With pleasure, Dr. Watson. The mistress, Miss Bromsby, gave me the day off. I'll wait for you.
Okay, I have a feeling that I do remember one painting puzzle which was annoying, but I can't remember if it's right now or a little bit later. Anyways, I'll go get something to drink and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. And let's see what we need to do here. It's interesting. I think I said... You're still staring at me. As I was playing The Awakened, it's interesting how much I remembered about the game, although it was around...
Good afternoon, gentlemen, and welcome to the National Gallery of Painting. As it's such a lovely day outside, you're the only visitors at the moment, and likely will be for the whole day, as the minimum number of people for a guided tour is...
We're not here to visit the museum, young man. My name is Sherlock Holmes, and this is my friend and colleague, Dr. Watson.
Sherlock Holmes, the famous detective?
Indeed, I have reason to believe that a theft is being planned that will take place here, perhaps as early as today.
A robbery?
I'm not certain, but there is a good reason to believe that is the case. We have contacted Inspector Lestrade at Scotland Yard, and he should be joining us momentarily. Meanwhile, rest assured that we are here in an official capacity. In the meantime, you can certainly help us. One of the paintings will play a part in the matter, but I don't yet know exactly which one. I do, however, have a few clues that should tell something to a specialist like yourself.
Ah, yes, of course. As it happens, I've only been working here for 3 days. Actually, I'm an apprentice, and my duties here are essentially administrative.
As I was saying before, we were rudely interrupted by this young person here. Yeah, I remembered quite a lot about The Awakened, although I'd played it since, well, it was 10 years ago. According at least to Steam, and this is pretty much same time, so it's interesting how much I remember about this. Anyways, I digress. Let's ask about the director.
Pray tell, would I be correct in deducing that the elder of the two men that we can see up there is the director of the museum?
Yes, that is Sir Pointer. He could certainly assist you better than I, but at the moment he's terribly occupied and will be for some time.
But the location that you are proposing is unworthy of my work. All of my pieces are hymns to color and light. It's the very stars, the sun that you want to extinguish.
Please understand, dear sir, the entrance hall is reserved for temporary exhibitions. We are able to add more lighting.
In that case, you would have to provide lanterns across the whole length of the ceiling, and to use the most refined oil possible. Definitely not gas. And mirrors to reflect the light, along with some canvases in basic colors to bring out the contrasts.
We will do all that we possibly can.
Nevertheless, I insist that a number of my works must be on the main floor next to the large pieces.
But our rooms are already full, and, as you know, each has its specific subject. Too much modernism?
How can there be too much modernism? Modernism doesn't exist. Only art exists. Art is timeless. Art is cosmic.
Well, sir, perhaps we should continue this conversation in my office.
Well, definitely interesting person. About that painter gives me distinct thoughts. Maybe, well, he was a French after all. Anyways, ledger.
Then you must certainly have a ledger of the works that are shown in the museum, with a description of each painting.
Yes, Sir Pointer entrusted it to my care this morning so I could familiarize myself with the collection, but I lost it. I know I make a rather feeble archivist, but while I was doing a tour of the museum, the painting that Mr. Pointer is now dealing with arrived, along with cases full of canvases that he had to quickly inventory.
The case of the missing ledger. What do you make of it, Watson? Listen, Mr.
Palinor, sir.
Palinor, my friend and I will make our way through the museum in order to find the ledger. If you lost it while touring the museum and it wasn't back on the desk, then it must be in one of the galleries. Stay here and we will return to see you when we have found it, and not a word of it to the director.
Certainly, sir. With many thanks. I will continue to do my inventory and await you.
Okay, what about blueprint?
Tell me, young man, would you happen to have a blueprint of the building in order to facilitate the task at hand?
Ah, yes. Where did I put it? Oh, yes, here it is.
Farewell, Palinor.
I'm guessing the painting puzzle I was thinking will come later. So this is where we are, entrance hall. This is the director's office is over there. And Spanish gallery, French gallery, English, Dutch, Flemish, Italian, no admittance to public. Okay, let's go and see what we can find. Very lovely paintings. And I can't remember the real names of the paintings. I almost certain that at least most of these are copies of originals. Although I might be wrong. There's the director. We don't want to go there just yet.
The Spanish Painters Gallery.
Oh, we can check this.
La Tela Real by the great Spanish master Diego Velázquez, 1599 to 1660, painter from the golden century of Spain. It depicts a royal boar hunt.
So now you know. So we can actually check these paintings and these are real.
The Vendramin family, venerating a relic of the True Cross by Titian, a Venetian paper, died in 1576, leader of the 16th century Venetian school of the Cinquecento.
Thank you, Watson. I was just checking the painting. You're like a puppy.
Jacob with a Flock of Laban by Josep de Ribera, also called Lo Spagnoletto, or the Little Spaniard because of his height.
Okay.
Christ healing the paralytic at the pool of Bethesda by Murillo, one of the most important figures in Baroque painting in Spain during the 18th century.
Interesting. This seems oddly familiar.
Christ driving the traders from the temple, canvassed by the Spanish master El Greco.
Okay, that explains it. I have seen that painting, but I can't remember where.
A peasant boy leaning on a sill by Bartolomé Esteban Murillo, 1617 to 1682. The Toilet of Venus by Diego Velázquez, who was considered, along with Francisco Goya and El Greco, as one of the greatest artists in all of Spanish history.
Okay.
An Apostle, Josep de Ribera, 1591 to 1652. This canvas by Tiziano Vecellio, better known as Titian, is an allegory of prudence. It reads, "From the past, the man of the present acts prudently so as not to imperil the future." Wise advice.
Okay, and
The Lamentation of the Dead Christ by Josep de Ribera, a Tenebrist painter.
And bigger. Oh,
A lovely painting by Murillo. Impressive.
okay, thanks. I thought we could get more information, but we didn't.
The Adoration of the Name of Jesus, El Greco, 1541 to 1614, Spanish painter from Crete, belonging to the Mannerist school.
Fine, okay. I'll check the other paintings also, maybe. Anything?
A portrait, Madame Moitessier, by Ingres, who was also a violinist on the side, like myself.
Okay.
Monsieur de Norvins, portrait by Jean-Auguste Dominique Ingres, 1780 to 1876. The Billet Doux by Françoise Boucher. A beautiful landscape by Boucher, Françoise, a master of colour in the Age of Enlightenment.
That's actually very nice. Well, to be honest, quite a few of these are very nice indeed.
The Battle of Genappe by Horace Vernet, one of the victories of the French Revolution.
And I'm guessing this is same era.
Horace Vernet, the Battle of the Hanau, which took place in 1813, the beginning of the end for Napoleon despite this victory.
Oh, okay. And so...
Watson, come quickly.
What is it, Holmes? What have you found?
A painting by my great-uncle, Horace Vernet. I had forgotten that his work could be found here. It is certainly this ancestor to whom Lupin made reference in his letter. Such talent, don't you think?
Who? Lupin?
No, Vernet. Albeit Lupin also, but in a different field.
Okay. That is one huge painting. I wish I could paint. Oh, Napoleon Bonaparte.
The Emperor Napoleon I, or Bonaparte as we English prefer, painted by Horace Vernet. The Scale of Love by Jean-Antoine Watteau. Born in 1684, died in 1721. French painter, one of the first in the Rococo style, inspired by the Commedia dell'arte, who loved to depict theatre and festivities in his paintings.
And this?
Perfect Harmony by Jean-Antoine Watteau.
Watteau Bertie. And
a canvas by Nicolas Poussin that tells of the discovery of Moses. Very nice.
Poussin. I think in Gabriel Knight 3 there's paintings of Poussin. Tomb of Poussin or something like that also, but yeah, I can't remember.
The Adoration of the Golden Calf by Nicolas Poussin, a classical French painter from the 17th century who spent most of his productive career not in Paris, but in Rome, on the fringes of the prominent schools of the era.
Yes, Golden Calf.
Jacques Cazot, portrait by Jean-Baptiste Perronneau, born around 1715, died 1783.
Okay, and...
Portrait of a Woman by Perronneau, French school, pastel on paper. Horace Vernet, my ancestor. Magnificent, this landscape at sunset.
Oh, Sherlock.
A canvas by Joseph Vernet, my great-great-uncle.
Yes, we do know that.
The Triumph of Pan by Nicolas Poussin.
Okay. What was in here? We were in a Spanish gallery, so that's something...
Closed.
Yeah. What is this?
There, it seems that we found the famous ledger. It's written in shorthand and there are hundreds of entries. Let's bring it to the archivist.
Okay, we will. Let's continue this little tour. I'm tempted to check every painting, but it will take time. So I'll choose few and check.
Sun Rising Through Vapor by William Turner. 40 years before Monet, Turner creates a new painting that dissolves forms in a quivering of atmosphere and light.
Okay. I probably have to go through these paintings at some point. Is that Nelson? No, he has both arms.
Lord Heathfield of Gibraltar by Sir Joshua Reynolds, 1723 to 1792, one of the greatest portrait artists of his time.
Right. And who is this person here?
A canvas by Sir Reynolds. Colonel Tarleton, hero of the British forces during the American War of Independence.
Okay. I think this is just...
English Painters Hall.
Yeah, we could have guessed that.
A painting by Rembrandt. The sum of his works inspired Baudelaire to write Rembrandt's Sad Hospital Full of Murmurs.
Full of Murmurs. What is this?
The Swearing of the Oath of Ratification, painted by Gerard Terborch, born in Zwolle in December of 1608 and died the 8th of December 1681.
Curious.
A young woman seated at a virginal, painted by Vermeer, Dutch painter of the 17th century.
Well, there's at least a dog here.
A canvas by Gerard Terborch, Dutch subject and portrait painter, influenced by Velázquez.
Okay, and this is the Flemish. Oh. Anything familiar? Painting with paintings.
Canvas painted around 1620. Unknown artist from the Flemish school.
Right. Nothing I can recognize, but that's something normal. Italian, okay. Anything... This is interesting. What's happening here?
A painting by Veronese, the family of Darius before Alexander.
Right, okay. Yeah, I have a feeling that... What's happening here?
The Assassination of St. Peter Martyr, painted around 1507 by Giovanni Bellini, a forerunner of the Venetian school.
Okay, and there's some color
The
here.
Supper at Emmaus, where the resurrected Jesus appears to his disciples, painted by Caravaggio, 1571 to 1610. He was a master of chiaroscuro, and the Caravaggism movement was named after him.
Chiaroscuro. Yes, the shadow and light. And... yeah. I think we've gone through everything, but
Closed.
I'm almost certain that we do have to do something with the paintings, but obviously we have to know what painting he will be, the Arséne Loupin will steal probably, and then I remember, then later there's the painting puzzle I've been dreading.
Yes, Mr. Holmes?
Oh,
Farewell, Palinor.
come on. Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Holmes?
Here's the
Here's
ledger.
your ledger, my friend.
You found it! Many thanks. You won't say anything to Sir Pointer.
Rest assured, are you familiar with how the entries are written? Everything seems to be abbreviated.
I understand how to locate a thematic group and how to read a description, but I am struggling with the location codes.
It's better than nothing at the moment. We're searching for a painting that has a connection to the Battle of Trafalgar.
Depicting what exactly?
According to this poem, it could be...
Oh, okay. Excuse me. Okay, so we need to check the poem. In despite everything, the adventure attempts all cross friends and real nose in the plot. It is true that we failed. True, we tried again. Our fate was nailed. His immediate pain. The Spanish Capes. Trade snide. Adversary came along in order to break the victory. We were put in the wrong, and they made history. Save the pain and defeat. The worst in this game is that the hero we did meet carries the French name. Clearly did vengeance sound what I have in mind for this traitor sitting at his master's feet like a hound. Sitting his master's feet like a hound. On my honor tonight to hand, I will break free the binding. So that all may understand, our victory will take wing. Right. Can I check the ledger? No. I don't really know. Could it mean ships? Oh, that's a battle of Trafalgar ships. It is true that we failed through with. I don't know. As Holmes says, the poem suggests that the answer may be, I'm guessing, ships, but Lupin's poem can be found in, yes, I know, we know Horatio's Naval Association. In order to protect victory is... Okay. Advisory, in order to is the victory a ship's name? Either it's victory or ship. I'll try first with the victory. Maybe.
Are you sure? It means nothing to me, Mr. Holmes.
Ship. Maybe. I don't know.
Yes, Mr. Holmes?
A boat, no ship.
It might refer to a boat. Its master was Admiral Nelson, and the thief wanted to run it aground. Moreover, the boat would have a French name.
Wait, I have a suggestion. A very popular painting, symbolic even, The Fighting Temeraire, a Turner. In this painting, Turner is described as having mastered painting techniques, and it is one of the most beautiful English paintings of all time. The subject, a boat by the French name of Temeraire, was involved in the Battle of Trafalgar and distinguished itself by protecting Victory, the flagship on board which was...
Victory, did you say?
Yes, Admiral Nelson was on board. Temeraire received a special distinction, but I am not certain of which. The painting shows it being towed to the breaker's yard, I believe.
Well, I was correct and very wrong, apparently. The Fighting Temeraire.
Where would I find it?
I don't know. You would have to search through the English works of this century near the west section of the gallery.
Okay.
My thanks, Palinor. Come, Watson, let's take a look at the painting.
So yes, I was correct and not. To be honest, I was almost certain that it would be Victory, but apparently I needed to put ship. Okay, so what are we looking? Well, that was Turner's painting. Is this Turner's painting? Oh.
Here's what I've been looking for.
Okay, that worked automatically. So what are we doing with this now?
The Fighting Temeraire. Splendid. What do you think?
I agree, it's splendid. The existence of this painting would seem to give credit to this whole affair.
As long as this painting remains on this wall, this letter, even if it is eloquent and provocative, is nothing more than a letter. It is possible that all of this could be a hoax with no substance whatsoever. We will know soon enough, as the theft will have to take place tonight.
We must warn the museum's director, Holmes.
You are correct, Watson. Shall we?
Well, we shall. Okay. I forget I could actually run. Here we are.
Fantastic! Superb!
There, Maestro. I believe that everything is settled.
This collaboration will be my crowning glory, my masterpiece. Merci!
I have finished the inventory of the works of art, Director. Oh, and I have the pleasure of introducing the great detective Sherlock Holmes and his companion, Dr. Watson.
Good day, gentlemen. It's with pleasure that I welcome you to our gallery. I trust that you are here for pleasure and not business?
I'm afraid that is not the case.
Oh.
When it is no longer a matter of art, the artist must make his excuses. Messieurs, until we meet again, no need to accompany me. I know the way.
My apologies, gentlemen. Have you been waiting long?
Mr. Palinor was able to answer all of our most urgent questions. Tell me, who was that man who just left?
That was Horace Valmont, a French painter. One of the best, seemingly. His letters of recommendation come from some of the grandest salons in Paris.
A Frenchman? Let's take a look, Watson.
Let's...
Yes, he's very avant-garde. He heard that we were showing the works of modern painters during our temporary exhibitions. He has loaned us a number of paintings and has promised to donate those that have the greatest success to the museum.
Lestrade, just in time. And the Frenchman, Watson?
Gone?
Director, this is Inspector Lestrade from Scotland Yard. Lestrade, this is the Director of the National Gallery, Sir Pointer, and his assistant, Mr. Palinor. Lestrade, would you have your constable on duty guard the entrance and make sure that nobody comes into the museum? Director, is there anything else?
No, but...
If you would care to follow me, I'll show you what the motivation behind all of this is. The reason for this little gathering is this letter that I received at my lodgings this morning. Without getting into too much detail, it claims that this painting, the Fighting Temeraire, will be stolen tonight.
Pardon?
There now. It's because of a letter that you've disturbed me. You believe that?
I would never have taken the liberty to disturb you if this letter, the authenticity of which I must admit hasn't been completely confirmed, was not written by the one and only Arséne Loupin.
Arsene Lupin?
Arsene Lupin?
Arsenal? Who? Lou? What?
Arsène Lupin, the most wanted cat burglar in the world. We will know soon enough whether or not this letter is a fake, or if I had reason to disturb you, Lestrade. But you must understand that we couldn't take even the slightest chance.
Perhaps. Why not simply put this thing under lock and key in the bank or at Scotland Yard?
We cannot risk storing the painting in an improper environment or to entrust it to anyone who calls it a thing.
All that would achieve would be to shift the problem. This painting is priceless. Beware he who would harm it. What I propose, Lestrade, is to do a tour of the museum with Sir Pointer in order to check any possible points of break and entry, and leave 2 men on duty here tonight. In addition, Director, you must close the museum to the public and not let anyone else in.
If you feel it's necessary.
And you, Holmes?
I'll pass by tomorrow at dawn. We'll know then what we're up against. Should the unthinkable have occurred, I insist that nothing is touched until I arrive. Is that clear? Let's be off, Watson.
Listen, Inspector, I have a lot of work to take care of. It would be better if I leave you to do a tour by yourself. You are, after all, a professional. Here are the keys to all of the locked doors. If you need me, I'll be in my office.
Well, I best inspect the museum to find any of Lupin's possible exits, including mice holes.
Okay, I'm controlling Lestrade. So what are we supposed to do now? Except run, of course. Well, probably go through every door. So let's start from here. Can I enter? Yes, I can. Do we need to be worried about this room? I don't think so. I'm not certain what... Nothing on the roof. On the ceiling though. This door.
No exits on this side. Nothing to report.
Okay.
No exits on this side. Nothing to report.
Well, as we can guess, the Lupin will succeed.
No exits on this side. Nothing to report. No exits on this side. Nothing to report.
Okay. We have 2 doors here. I cannot... Whoa, that was quite dark. I can open this.
It's dark in this box room. Good. No windows. No possible entry.
Okay. So far so good. And this. What do we have? We have a ceiling window, obviously.
Ha! There is a possible entry. If someone wanted to descend from the roof here, he'd need a lot of time, and it wouldn't be a quiet business. But I'd be wise to leave a man on duty here, and he will signal the alarm at any suspicious movement coming from the roof. Arsène Lupin. It's you and I now.
So is that it? And what do we have here? More paintings. So, is that it actually? Do I need to do something else? Got a bit stuck there. What do we have here? Door, obviously.
No exits on this side. Nothing to report.
And we have windows also here. What else I need to do?
Nothing to report.
Okay. What's next?
We need a cannon to force this door down. The lock is too big to be jimmied, and I'll leave a man on duty in place. If Lupin does come, it won't be that way.
Okay. Oh, we need to check these.
Nothing to report.
So, what now? Do I need to talk to the director?
I will make sure there are no windows, and therefore ways in. Here.
Do your work. I will draw a map for you, Inspector.
Wait for tonight. There. The director and his underling have left. Time for us to play now. It could be that this whole robbery is nothing but nonsense. If not, we're prepared. And this Lupin will play right into our hands. I'll lock the main door to the museum, and you will be locked in. Jeffries is on duty in Trafalgar Square, and the yard is nearby. Nothing to worry about there. The doors leading in will be locked, but you will each have everything you need to open them. Stay hidden and cover your light so you cannot be seen from the roof. You, Lockhart, will be stationed near the painting itself. At the least provocation, go down to the entrance and sound the alarm. The walls are too thick, so you will have to go down for your whistle to be heard. In case of real trouble, be sure to fire with deadly accuracy, because if you even graze one of the paintings, your great-grandchildren will still be paying off your debts. Finally, you'll just have to be content with your lanterns. Gas is too expensive. Let's go, men. Keep your wits about you. You'll be relieved at 4 a.m.
Well, that's interesting.
Go on, you cantankerous codger. You have work to do.
You're right, Holmes. The constable below was indeed asked to deliver us a letter. It's from Lestrade.
Nothing good can come from such urgency.
Indeed, Holmes. This time, without doubt, the painting has disappeared. According to what he's written, they've turned the National Gallery upside down looking for it. Our presence is required immediately.
Well, Watson, the game is afoot.
Should we not have enlisted more men from the force to protect the painting?
I think that a whole brigade could not have stopped Lupin. And, of course, we can now be certain that it was he who was behind the theft. First and foremost, the police have a city and lives to protect, and we must respect that. Watson, a hansom will be hard to find at this hour, and Billy, our page, is sick. Would you be so good as to flag one down while I take a moment to reread this letter?
Yesterday, I was a doctor, and now I've become a valet.
Okay, yeah. So obviously, Lupin succeeded what he was going to do. Maybe we already saw him as the French painter. Maybe not. Maybe that was some coincidence. I can't remember, and to be honest, I don't know. I hope the gas he used was actually a knockout gas, not something more sinister. Yeah, I think I end the episode here. It was a slower episode, quite a lot of talking, but now we are starting to get back into the game, and things are moving up. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you next time. Until then, goodbye.